And I want to talk about that. So what was the thing, if you're comfortable sharing it,
Yeah,
what was the thing that your 2 Marine buddies or 3 Marine buddies noticed in you that made them say, hey, you've got
100%.
PTSD?
One, I would kind of get overwhelmed by interaction with my kids by the end of the day. And like parents like, yeah, well, tell me something new. But I would just literally withdraw to a different room, and I would very much enjoy my alone time. And it's not like I had a real stressful job. It was from personal interaction with my own family. And on top of that, also kind of avoiding fireworks. Not like, well, I mean, I just don't like going to 4th of July. And it didn't, but it was more like, I'll just watch them from back here. It's cool. But that was the other thing, is just not really being able to pay attention. Mm-hmm. I learned that there were all kind of trauma responses and stuff like that. No, it's actually ADHD in veterans is extremely common because it is a trauma response.
Welcome back to Therapy is Full. Dustin, CEO Red White Badass Brew, and
Terrence Davis, Dream Team.
All right, man. So we were continuing on episode number 2. If you missed it, Ben Roan here is in the studio, and you heard about his military career, OCS experience. Yes. Now we're going to talk about how coffee got him promoted.
Yeah. Well, first off, I want to point out that the episode we just recorded was yesterday, and this is today, and we're wearing the same clothes because we just can't leave the studio.
It's funny that he mentioned that. That was the first thing that I thought of whenever I started doing like YouTube videos, both this channel and my other channel. I started thinking like, man, like, are people going to get sick of me wearing the same clothes? They got to notice that I wear it, and I was like, maybe
we're dudes.
Video.
Yeah, no one's going to pay attention.
I started wearing black V-necks all the time.
Well, we're trying to get more like white people to watch it. So he showed up in a red flannel.
Is that the lumbersexual look?
This is the lumbersexual. The lumbersexual.
Yeah. I've been out chopping wood.
I used to be him that was always in the shirts, but then you kind of gained some weight from all the ice cream over the years.
Wow, motherfucker!
You throw it.
Shots fired.
Indirect fire, baby. You throw it at me, I give it back to you. Bounced.
Listen, it's in progress.
It's been in progress for a year, motherfucker. God damn. Can we see some construction? Anyway, This is Red, White, and Badass. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. So what? So Jim Rohn, we got you. Ben Rohn.
Yep,
we're here.
Yeah, Jim Rohn, right? The motivational speaker.
Yes, I knew it. I was like, where the fuck did Jim Rohn? Your last name was so specific. I was like, for a second, I was like, wait, is he related to Jim Rohn?
No.
So sadly, no, because his wife keeps reaching out to me to find out, hopefully, kind of like Warren Buffett, Jimmy Buffett, always trying to find out. And I'm just like, ma'am, you have to stop calling me. I'm pretty busy. I'm taking a nap. But no, not related to anyone famous yet.
Not yet.
But so it is. What was the question?
How did coffee get you promoted?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Okay. So basically, drove up. I took temporary command of a unit up in Minneapolis. So I drove from San Diego, and I had coffee beans from a coffee roaster that I, patronized. I was very patronizing. But no, they would mail me these coffee beans subscription, or great beans, about like 2017, 2018. Drive up to Minneapolis. I'm up there at this huge, it was a bunch of reserve units, this drill center on this base right there in Minneapolis called Fort Snelling. Now, I was there because the previous commanding officer had been arrested. And I was taking command of the unit and basically rebuilding the unit from the ground up. Great Marines and sailors there, but needed a lot of nurturing to get back to a good place, because the previous command environment was real bad. And so I've been there about a month, and what had happened is he'd been arrested for sex assault, and so very, very high profile, very, very scandalous, and 2 colonels have been sent out there to inspect the unit. They want butts, and they're out there, and so what ends up happening is they're there, they're stressed out, you could tell, because their careers are on the line. And I go up to it's a second floor. I walk up to the conference room. They're there, the 2 colonels, and then the sergeant major is like, I'm a sergeant major. I don't give a shit. I'm just here. I'm going to be retiring soon. Real cool guy. I could tell he was like, these colonels are a little bit too puckered, but what are you going to do? So in a hostage situation, you always want to change the narrative. And so what I did is I walk and I could see their stress. I'm like, gentlemen, you look exhausted. And I'm only a major at the time. I'm talking to him like we're buddies. I just drove up here from San Diego with coffee beans from my own personal coffee roaster. It's going to be delicious coffee. How about I walk back downstairs and make you a couple cups of coffee from some freshly ground coffee beans? And they're just like, Okay, Major Rowan, sure, why not? And by changing the narrative, you're basically giving them something they didn't anticipate, so they pause. And that's when you get the drop. You walk back downstairs. I'm grinding the beans slowly while my Marines are sticking their head in the door because the 4-star Admiral is also on deck, giving a NAM to one of my Marines, and my entire unit is in formation, and I'm not there because I'm dealing with the colonels. I'm grinding these beans. They're like, sir, what are you doing? And I'm like, don't worry. Sir, I got this. And like, you are, all right, fucking insane. And I walk back up with this big old carafe of coffee and I take their coffee cups. I'm like, gentlemen, this is going to be the best goddamn coffee you've ever had. And they look at each other like, this motherfucker right here. Major Rowan, that's actually really good coffee. And all of a sudden, the inspection turns from some sort of butt chewing tour to, let's go meet the Marines. But really, and they were high-fiving, back-slapping all the Marines. Everything goes phenomenally. The lead colonel gets back to the headquarters. His XO is about to sit in the promo board, Lieutenant Colonel promo board, and he walks in and tells Lieutenant Colonel Smith, hey, Smith, sir, Roan. He gets promoted. And I learned later on that when one of the officers on the promo board says, no, this one gets promoted, it's an automatic. It doesn't even go before the board. I ended up being the number 2 promoting the entire Marine Corps that year. Not because I was good at my job. It's because of coffee. So I go back to that coffee roaster and I tell them that, like, we're going to go ahead and put this up on the wall so we can sell more coffee. But yeah, so that's the importance of high quality coffee. It will always change the narrative. It will bring about peace and promotion and, love and happiness and hugs. Yeah. But it's, I swear by it. I swear by it. So I love that that you opened up your coffee business because, I got to taste your coffee at one of our veterans events here in Santee, and that stuff always kills. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's always just good, good coffee. It's
now, what did you try? Yeah. What did you try?
So he tried, I believe he tried the whiskey business. Was it?
Whiskey business. Yes.
No, because it was black. So when I do the events, I make it hot coffee. Okay. And I just make it black, and then they can put whatever they want into it.
Yeah, I mean,
whiskey business is delicious. That's one of my favorites. And then what's the other one I like? Sleepy Joe.
Well, that's a decaf.
Oh, I hate that one.
So it is, no, you got to take your coffee. I love my coffee like I love my med, black and strong. And then, at that point, you can't go wrong. But yeah, honestly, it's just, it's all true story.
Yeah. I mean, people usually don't have a bad time over coffee.
No.
Coffee's a catalyst that gets them over that. Oh, fuck. All right. I could deal with traffic
today.
Do
you know coffee shops in the 1700s in Europe were places of revolution?
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, they were places where, so coffee shops, that's where you made your coffee. They didn't have espresso machines back in the 1700s, believe it or not. But you go to the coffee shop and you just talk revolution. And that's where revolutions around Europe and North America were plotted, were coffee shops.
Just FYI, this episode was brought to you by Red, White, and Badass Brew. When you want to plot your revolution, get yourself a cup of Sleepy Joe.
Yeah.
I would go Sleepy Joe.
I'm sitting here like, this is about to be a coffee commercial. It is. Hey, you better clip this and make sure you put this on your YouTube, your Instagram channel. Be like, my coffee started a revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whiskey business started the revolution.
It did.
It started the PTSD revolution.
Yeah. So that reminds me of that joke. It's like 2 robbers are robbing a bank, and one of the robbers, robbing a liquor store, and one of the robbers holds up a bottle of liquor and says, "Is this whiskey?" And the other robber says, "Not as whiskey as robbing a bank." I'll see myself out.
Oh my God. Yeah. Never tell that joke again.
No, that was a great
joke. I like that joke. Okay. You've been a great audience. Don't forget to tip your waitress. Yeah. Try the veal.
Try the veal.
So your whole thing with PTSD, what got you into? So now you've left the Marine Corps, right? If
we didn't talk about the transition.
No.
Oh, that's right. You did want to, because you interrupted me in the last episode.
Yeah, sure did.
You son of a bitch.
I was like getting it right here, right now.
So your transition. Whenever we talk to veterans and we ask them about the transition, there's one thing that I remember, he remembers, and a lot of the guys that retire especially remember. It's the day after.
Yeah.
It's I've retired. It's over.
So in my experience, it's different because I went into the reserves. But that being said, I was only active duty 6 years. And then I didn't know what to do with my life. So I decided the smartest financial decision would be to stop working and go to grad school full time without the GI Bill. Notice the dead eyes as I laugh. Yeah. And so it was, mental health wise, it was very smart. to go to grad school full time. I needed that. Financially, no, pretty effing stupid.
Yeah.
But it was but it all came out in the wash. So that transition for me was much easier than it would have been for someone who's going straight from active duty into the workforce, because I was humbled being in a grad school environment. Man, I swear to God, I'd forgotten how to read, write, and count in 6 years in the Marine Corps. And I remember one day there's a bunch of us groups were working. And I stand up because I need someone to print something for me. And I look for one of my Marines, and I'm like, oh, shit, I'm a student. I got to do this myself like a human. But it was very humbling. You were around people that were very, very bright. They were very respectful. So it was never awkward, but it was it created mental peace for me. Absolutely. Most people are not going to do that. Maybe a lot of people will go to school after coming off active duty, which really is, especially using GI Bill, I think works extremely well for a lot of people. Because also going to grad school, those dudes do not party at all. So it wasn't like you were trying to keep up with the youngsters. Like, we got nothing in common. It was just a bunch of, as a transition Marine captain, you're already boring as shit. So when you're around other boring people, like, oh, well, that sounds fun. Let's go ahead and do some checkers and then go to sleep at 9. And it was, I wish I was kidding, but notice the defensive posture as I cross my arms. I don't like this to memory at all. But it is one of the things I have noticed about active duty that go into the workforce immediately is within about 3 months, at some point they're going to go to one of their coworkers, and you got to be careful which coworker, because if they're not a vet, it's going to be received wrong. These motherfuckers right here. Oh. And so what I always tell people transitioning to active duty workforce, I don't even care if you're transitioning to a defense contractor, which is the easiest transition for military.
Not for me.
Yeah, it is. Well, yeah, but is to bond with other veterans so that they can pull you aside, like, bro, I got you, or hey, sister, I got you. But what's happening, this is a different culture. You need to accept their culture. And what made you successful in the military isn't necessarily, you need to humble yourself. And look, there's a lot of truth to us being just amazing individuals and our sacrifice, and thank you for your service. But we also need to be able to check our ego at the door, which is so hard to do.
Well, especially as an officer. Well, so for me, going from enlisted to going to college, it really wasn't that hard, right? Because, I'm one of the many, right? But as an officer, like you said, like, hey, I'm used to, like, hey, I need a piece of paper scanned. But I don't have a Marine.
But even if you're a machine gunner, a sergeant, E5 getting out, man, it's still tough. You've done things that most people could only dream about. Yep. And you've had experiences that most people only see in movies. And it's amazing, but you are now in a place where you have to be uncomfortable again for a few months. And that's hard unless you can surround yourself with people that have understood what you're going through and can kind of walk you through it.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's some super powerful advice, because you're really building that network outside. And that was one of the things I would tell guys who are going to transition is, you better start that network on outside, because you won't have this when you leave.
Yeah.
You won't, because the interaction's going to change.
Well, and that's what most of the guys that have they've transitioned out, even the ones that served just 6 years, even the ones that served 20 years, is when their service ended. Friday, they got their retirement package. Hey, congratulations, PC later. On Monday, nobody called. No one checked.
Yeah.
Nothing. Zero.
Yeah.
Now, is that the same for officers as well, or no?
It's a little bit different.
Well, you went reserves anyway.
Yeah, but even on the active duty side, so it is a little bit different, because obviously the officer community has a lot of autonomy. So people aren't checking up on you. But one of the interesting things that I found is the officers really, it's different. Enlisted have so much more fun than officers do. So much more fun. Officers really have trouble learning how to have fun. We suck at it, and it takes years of work for us to not be incredibly boring individuals. And because we lead with responsibility first, last, and always. And boy, there's nothing more fun than being responsible. No, it is. So that's our big culture clash, is we do not know how to not take ourselves seriously. And kind of recognizing that if you're not careful about that, you're going to miss out on great experiences in life and great opportunities, because you avoid risk. Everything has to be certain. And that's why, like, what we're doing with the clinic is just so fascinating, because both of us are stepping hugely outside of our comfort zone to build something that's not certain whatsoever. But it is, for a lot of officers, it's just learning to embrace risk and learning to embrace the ambiguous, and celebrating that, because otherwise you're going to look back in a life that wasn't fully lived.
Yeah.
Mhm.
One of my buddies, said, not when I got out or when I got retired. It was when I became single.
Mhm.
He's like, you need to become a yes man. Yes. At
Oh,
every opportunity.
Oh yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I was stuck in this little what do I do?
Mhm.
I don't have somebody here let my kids depend on me, but I don't have that significant other.
Mhm.
So this is yep, being a yes man.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
I
Yeah.
wish I would have had that same element when I transitioned and just say, hey, when you gotta be a yes man, go out there, experience shit.
Yeah.
To get you kind of out of that comfort zone, out of that element, bring you into a different element, and also help you find that purpose.
Mhm.
Because I believe being a yes man helped me find who I was as an individual, as a person, what the desires I had inside me.
What gives you more opportunity to explore your interests and the things that you might be interested in? Because if you're only doing what you've always done, you always get what you always got.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
same story every single day. And,
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
same thing with
Pretty smooth.
transition. But moral of the story is don't be an officer. No.
I resemble that, but I mean, I never ended up with any tattoos, and now it's too late.
That's not too late.
I don't know. My 12-year-old was asking me,
tattoo gun out truck.
really?
Yeah.
Are we going to do this right now?
I actually have
Watch me cry. It's going to be a little seahorse.
Oh my god! I do actually have a friend of mine. She's opened up her first tattoo shop. So
Yeah.
if you need like a little seahorse or something small, I get you in there.
A couple little stars on my ankle for like my spring break to Myrtle Beach.
Big facts. Big facts.
Yeah.
The butt cheek.
Yeah.
A Woody Woodpecker
Yeah.
smoking a cigar.
Oh, I don't know what kind of tattoos y'all got.
Or like a donkey and a farting rainbow.
You know what? Honestly, these are all beautiful. For our next podcast, tattoos and you.
Tattoos and you.
Yeah.
Hey, what does that tattoo mean?
Yeah.
So for you though, I mean, so your transition, obviously you had the reserves, you had all that. What got you and your partner into this place? Because when you were telling us in the last episode, you were running multiple businesses. You had your kids, you had your marriage.
Yeah. So what it was in my case specifically, I was leading 3 different alumni organizations, one for my high school, one for college, one for grad school here in San Diego. I was a reservist. In the Marine Corps, I had a full-time job. I was one of the leads of startup, and of course, you're a parent, you're married at the time, and all that. And there was no time left over for anything else. Now, slowly, I started to realize that the cemeteries are full of irreplaceable people. They don't need you that much, and I started walking away from things like those alumni organizations I had to transition off of because it was just so like, why am I raising money for wealthy schools? What am I doing? Same thing with the reserves. The startup didn't work out. Great people, it was not their fault, but it was one of these things that moved on from that. And then also the reserves. And this is the thing about military transition is we all reach a point in our military career where we're like, right, what exactly am I doing here? And that made it much easier for me to walk away from it. So I pared all that down. But it was, and then, it got divorced and really learned what it's like to be a fully present father. Because let's be honest, and this is for a lot of dads out there, you may think you're carrying the load, you may think you're carrying the boats, but I tell you, man, you ain't. Your wife is doing way more goddamn work than you're doing. And it's hard for us as dads to regular. I mean, hey, could you take the kids to Target? Oh my God, me? To Target? Like, I could not handle taking my girls to Target. Like, what's going to happen? Are you serious? What a baby. And I did not realize how bad, and I thought it was pretty good, but how lacking I was as a married dad.
You're a provider and a protector.
Yeah, but that's all
Yeah.
But I wasn't
present.
Yeah. I wasn't present.
No, I'm not. I can't do that.
No. That's way too much. What are you here at? And so it is a much more involved dad. But a lot of it was you had to start saying no to things that weren't no longer, you had to make some hard decisions that were no longer in your best interest because at a certain point, if you can't take care of yourself, how can you take care of everyone around you?
Yeah.
Big facts. Big facts.
You can't. You got to make those decisions. Every dad out there will, especially if you're single, or running a business or starting a business.
Yeah.
Look, you got work, you got family time, and you got sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? All 3 of those are going to be affected.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you're starting a business, your majority work. And guess what? Sleep is going to have to, be cut into it. I don't say being a dad is cutting into it. Being present isn't going to, that's a non-negotiable in my book. I wish I would have, what you said, I was the same way. I wasn't present.
No.
I protector all day long, provider all day long, being present.
Job done.
What
Yeah.
What the present? What is that?
Yeah.
I am present. I'm paying the bills.
Mhm.
Put food on the table.
Yeah.
House over our heads.
Yeah, and it's even more messed up when the person you're married to is also working full time, and they're doing the same thing you're doing. But the problem is that I can't cook. You got this, babe, and all that stuff, and you're putting with it. You realize it's like 70-30 at best, and they're getting the same amount of sleep, maybe, and of course. Women always need more sleep than men do. It's like an hour to 2 hours more. So they're getting less sleep than we are. They're getting all that stress. And then the other thing we see about kids, when kids need something, who do they go to? Well, no, when they need something, they always go to mom. And so it's just that, and it's tough because as modern Americans, we don't know how to balance all that when it comes to relationships and stuff like that. And I'm talking to myself, but it is, hopefully some people watching this can be like, see some lessons learned to kind of lean into that.
Yeah, figuring out how to be present.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and going down that road, it's a tough one. It really humbles you as a father.
It does.
I tell you that when you start kind of peeling this onion back and going, oh shit, I really wasn't there. Because 2 of my kids got the brunt of it. I have 4 kids.
Yeah,
and then my 2 younger ones now get a present father. And I apologize to my older ones. I'm like, hey, listen, wasn't the best father.
I think establishing this podcast for you guys is part of that.
Oh yeah. Well, it gives us insight. It gives us insight. It gives us different perspectives.
I think it also gives us the opportunity. I think it's less than alternative perspective, obviously coming from the guest, but also like our way of sharing as we have the different age dynamics, black, white. We have almost 50, we have almost 40, we have well in his 60s. It's like all these things where like men of different ages can go and watch and go, oh shit, like I'm not alone. Like even some of the things we share, I think with the whole therapy piece, like the traumas, the soul pieces, like all those things are important. How did all that lead? That's the part I'm interested in. How did like all that lead to like PTSD and the business?
Yeah, absolutely. So a few years ago, I gotten divorced, and I'm talking with a couple buddies of mine, and Marines, and we're just chatting, and they both kind of stop, and they're like, Ben, you got PTSD? I'm like, no, guys, I don't. I'm good. They're like, I can handle my stuff. I don't have a drinking problem. I sleep fine. I mean, look at me. And they're like, and as only people that have experienced something similar, in this case, Marines, they kind of look at each other and they're like, bro, you got it. How do we know? Because we both have it. We recognize it in you. And that kind of convinced me I needed to kind of humble myself. And that's where I started looking for, pursuing therapy. And this is also where I came across what we're doing with Neurobello, the brain center. It was just getting started, ran into the founders and went through and did the treatment. And the treatment really made a big difference for me, right? I noticed that I had much greater serenity. And I noticed it only and every person responds differently because your brain is like a fingerprint, it's unique. But I noticed about a third of the way through the treatment, like my 14-year-old was having a real rough day one day when I was coming over to pick her up. I was going to take her to a little event for school before school started. She was having a real rough day. And I was just so calm the entire time, even though she was running late. And it was this whole thing where it turned to this quiet learning opportunity for her. Like, sweetie, you got to understand this is actually good for you because you're learning to deal with crisis. And I was very calm the entire time. And we get out the door, then we're driving, and then she burst into tears. It was just, she was just having a rough day, especially teenage girls, they're going to have this. And same thing. I was just talking to her calmly and coaching her through it. We get to the school 5 minutes later, big old smile on her face, has a great day. And all of a sudden I realized that pursuing that treatment along with therapy had made me a better father in that moment. I was sleeping better. I still do sleep better. And then it was interesting. I noticed I was stronger in the gym because that enhanced mind-muscle connection. But the other thing is that after I finished treatment, I had trouble cursing. And I have to sometimes force myself to curse. Yeah.
Why is that pointing?
Because last episode, as he was trying to be respectful, you were the one. It was actually me. It was you that was like, let him curse. Just curse up a storm. F-wise. Dang.
So I mean, it is, but and that's where I discovered it. And between that and the therapy, got me to a place of really greatly enhanced serenity.
So you really want this to go hand in hand with therapy too?
Yes.
So this and therapy at the same time as you're going to.
Not necessarily at the same time because it can be at the same time, but we'll go into greater detail on it because the treatment protocol only needs a few weeks. you can, if you want to, I mean, you could absolutely do therapy at the same time. They will not conflict. But the idea is that once you finish that treatment, now your mind is in such a place that therapy is going to work so well for it, because the science shows that enhanced neuroplasticity makes you much more amenable to suggestion, much more able to create good habits, and much more able to break bad habits. And when I say about bad habits, it's small, it can be addiction, but a lot of responses from PTSD and stuff like that. And the therapy now, I noticed this myself, before I went through treatment, I was just like, I don't need your feedback. Now it's, okay, give me more, tell me more. It's very, very different. And it's subtle. You don't realize it's happening, but now you're no longer instantly defensive. You want to hear more about this, and you want to grow. And everyone we've treated, we've seen such just wonderful and rapid changes in them, where you can just see, just within a few days of treatment, some of these patients are coming in, brighter face, being able to hold eye contact, no more fidgeting, strong handshake, greatly enhanced personal hygiene, confident. One of them, his dating life just changed overnight. And you just see these things where all of a sudden you realize this person is going to be successful. Yeah.
And I want to talk about that. So what was the thing, if you're comfortable sharing it,
Yeah,
what was the thing that your 2 Marine buddies or 3 Marine buddies noticed in you that made them say,
Yeah,
hey, you've got
100%.
PTSD?
So for me, it was, and I think a lot of people listening in or watching are going to resonate with this, is that one, I would kind of get overwhelmed by interaction with my kids by the end of the day. And like parents are like, yeah, well, tell me something new. But I would just literally withdraw to a different room and just watch YouTube videos and stuff like that. Like, what kind of nonsense is that? And I would very much enjoy my alone time. And it's not like I had a real stressful job. It was from personal interaction with my own family. Mm-hmm. And my family there was nothing wrong with them. It was just, I didn't realize it, but my cup was much smaller. It was overflowing very quickly. And on top of that, also kind of avoiding fireworks. Not like, well, I mean, I just don't like going to 4th of July. And it didn't, but it was more like, I'll just watch it from back here. It's cool. But that was the other thing, is just not really being able to pay attention. Mm-hmm. And I learned that there are all kind of trauma responses and stuff like that. No, it's actually ADHD. In veterans, is extremely common because it is a trauma response. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things we noticed, is that every person we've treated has gone from just very, very relaxed, very calm, very present in the moment. And it really shows how we can really help control the ADHD and create much greater focus for somebody. And now they're really dialed in and just paying attention to everything you're thinking or saying. And it's really, really amazing to watch. Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going down there to take a tour.
Why are you looking at me? Just because you got treatment don't mean
it's going to make you less fun at parties.
Yeah. Well, no, I think it makes you more. I think it makes you more fun at parties because you're showing up as yourself. You're not putting on the mask to cover up all the other stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's where I think it's like, oh, I've been wanting to hang out with Dan. I've been wanting to hang out with this version of you for so long, and now I'm seeing the real version of you, not the one that's like, hey, I've got these issues. For me, I don't think it was a presence thing because I wanted to be present. I think for me, it was a lot of like the sleepless nights. That's how I started to know that actually. I didn't even know that I didn't know. I just didn't want to be seen by the VA. And it took one of the Marines that we worked with who had lost his leg to tell me, hey, that what you're doing right now that's your ego. Like, you don't want to go to the VA because I'm good, bro. I don't need it. I'm good. I mean, sure, I drink a lot, but it's not a lot. Like, I function, I go to work, whatever. Yeah. He's like, dude, listen, like, go get help, talk to somebody. I'm like, yeah, but I don't have any scars. I'm good. And he's like, dude, like, if it's it's just an ego thing. You're just worried about being labeled. Listen, like, I'm missing a leg and I'm telling you, go get help to talk about the things you talk about. Yeah. For me, it was a big lack of sleep. It was poor hygiene, but not like the proper hygiene. Like, I'm showering and brushing my teeth. It was, not going to bed until 3 a.m, getting up at 6 to start the day and then hustling through the day. Drinking throughout the day to if I had a cup I used to have on my desk, it was called it was a little Solo, not a Yeti cup, and it said "This might be Captain" it was laser engraved on it, and that was, if I had the cup on my desk and I was drinking from it, it was Captain. That's all I would drink from that cup was Captain and Coke. It got to a place where I was almost killing like a full gallon of rum a week. God damn. Where I'd buy the half gallons. They were $20, $18 at my local liquor store, and I would just buy them. Yeah. And I would just pour. And they asked like, hey, well, how do you measure them? Like, no, I'm not an animal. I just free pour till it hits over top of the ice. I'm not an animal. Like, what the hell? But it was a lack of sleep. And then because I'm not sleeping, I'm not going to the gym.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to the gym. I physically start to gain more weight. I start looking like Dustin. Then I stop shitting on you, bro. I'm so sorry. Do you guys
need a moment?
If you're on Spotify, you got to go watch it on the YouTube video. Just specifically this piece. Yeah. Just take me out. God, but the biggest one I think was the energy drinks to stay up, and then the irritability. I think just COVID helped mask the symptoms, but when COVID hit, the kids came home from school, so now they're at home. I talk on the phone. I'm always at work, so she's like, "Hey, I need you to move your office from the dining room where your office was. I repurposed our master closet as my office." Mm-hmm. So I hooked up my TV, my internet, good old Calm Marines. Mm-hmm. My TV, my internet, my cable, my Wi-Fi, everything was in the master closet. I had a desk, I had my camera, I mounted a TV, I had everything. And I never left that room.
God damn.
From sun up, I'm telling you, for 2 years, almost 3 years, sun up to sundown, I would go in the room and I'd lay in there and come out the room. There were, days, and this is more of a hygiene thing. There were like 2-3 days. Again, I'm not sweating, I'm not working out, I'm not doing anything. I wouldn't shower. I would walk out, lay in bed, I'd come back in the room, I'd sit in the chair, shirt on up top, so I'm presenting as a professional. I have my meetings with my clients, and then go right back to bed. Get up, and it's 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, to the point where it was, bro. I would sleep maybe 2-3 hours.
You were like Neo in the Matrix.
I was like, and I was like Neo, but I looked like the hamburger over there. Just and I watch old videos now, and I see it now as like the therapized, healing version of me. I look back at those videos and go, "Holy shit, dude! Like you were dying in that room." And that's what I've told a lot of veterans is like that whole period. If I had to call it, if it was a season of a TV show, it was called the suicide season. It was the season of me killing myself in a closet, because we can call it what it is. I'm drinking a gallon of rum a week. Like, I'm not exercising. I'm not eating healthy. I'm eating like shit. It's the suicide season. That's what it looked like for almost 2-3 years of me just sitting in a closet. Oh. Yep.
Yeah, it was interesting, actually. Another thing, for me, I poured myself into exercise, and I was 44. I was still drilling at the time, and I got down to, I'm 6'1". Right now, I'm 207. I love being this weight. It's great. But maybe 205. It's, what's that, 2 extra pounds? Don't ever tell a gym bro, like, "Hey, man, you cutting?" That will trigger them. But I love me a gym, but I was PTing so hard and punishing myself, and I didn't realize it, that I, at one point at 44, was down to 8.4% body fat and 188 pounds at 44. And that was a wake-up call to me, like, man, wait, that's not healthy. I'm a dad. Why am I at this weight? And I need to start eating pizza and stuff like that. I was PTing every day, twice a day.
So, but you said so the more important thing I heard was punishing yourself. What were you?
Yeah. So what it is, so you don't really realize what you're punishing yourself for. But in this case, it's, I'm not worth that effort. I'm not worth it. There's this whole thing where you can make that go away if you make yourself tired enough. And you can control food and all these other things. And so everyone responds differently to it. I know for stress, I don't eat. Yeah. And so it was, but I mean, that is just, you're not supposed to live life that way.
For me, it was sleep. I wasn't worth it because I didn't have the financial support to I didn't earn the rest yet. So I said, okay, cool. So I would go the whole day without getting anything done, because I'm putting out everybody else's fires. And then when the day finally comes up, it's like, all right, cool, 6 o'clock, it's hot, okay, 1800, right? I'm ready to go home. Oh, snap, I didn't accomplish any of my tasks for the day. Well, I'm already in the closet, may as well finish these tasks. So now I'm working on my stuff. 1800, now it's 22, almost 10 o'clock. Now I'm like, all right, cool, now I can finally, relax. Decompress. I'm on the Xbox talking to the boys about kids, wife, family duties. I'm drinking in the closet, and then boom, next thing you know, 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I better go to bed. I'm drunk. Go to bed, wake up, do it again. Toxic cycle.
You still play Xbox?
I haven't touched Xbox in so with this particular year, like this last year, with everything I had go on, I recentered and refocused in a more healthy way on me. The thing was, the reason why I was killing myself in that closet, it was because I didn't have a purpose. I was working real estate. I'm making money. I mean, we were making $200,000 a year, and it meant shit to me. It meant nothing. It was like, all right, cool, I'm doing it, and they're having fun and they're living. I wasn't going to the gym, which is something I pride myself on, my body, my health. I wasn't eating healthy, which is something I pride myself on, again, my body, my health. I was not spending time with my kids. I wasn't present. So I would mask the feelings that I was feeling with punishing myself, essentially. Again, killing myself in a closet. So, yeah.
Is that a common theme you would find amongst veterans?
Yeah.
They would find something to fixate on, and it was more of a form of punishment than it was.
Yeah, and it's something that you find common with many people that have gone through some sort of trauma. Yeah. So non-military, you're going to get people that have victims of abuse, sexual assault, car crash victims, and things of that nature. But it's very common, and of course, the rate of PTSD and depression in the veteran community is between 3 to 4 times what it is in a non-military community. So it's very, very common. And yeah, you see this thing where people are using coping strategies, but they're coping strategies. They're not addressing the main cause. And because we are trained to just deal with it, we think we're fine. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, everybody is kind of like that. What I do love about working with the veterans specifically is when I talk to them like, hey, there's help out there. Veterans, it's amazing, are much more proactive than non-military. So what I've seen is for every 2 veterans that talk about like, hey, we can help you with treatment, 1 says yes. In the non-military communities, for every 20 you talk to, 3 say yes. Wow. So I think there's, moving forward, a space for veterans helping inspire non-military. Like, look, I'm this Superman or Wonder Woman. I went through all this. If I can do this and admit that I need this, you can do this.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. I wouldn't imagine it was that way.
I definitely did not. I did not expect that.
It is very. It's not what you think. Yeah.
But when you go through the process that a veteran goes through, I think there's a couple things that worry veterans. One is finances. I think a lot of veterans worry about finances.
100%. Yeah.
Now they worry about their VA going to be getting dropped.
Yes.
If they're 80%, hey, you helped me with PTSD. Now they're going to go down to 30%. But that's not the case.
No. Yeah, that's a great point you just brought up. So there's something called the Compact Act that is a law that the VA conforms to, that basically if a veteran is in, so they call it, suicidal health crisis, but basically it's severe depression or PTSD. And it is, and let's be honest, one of the questions they ask you is, have you ever thought the world would be better off without you? Let's be honest. We all have those thoughts. So it is, but that the law was drafted in 2020, put into effect in 2023 because of the suicide crisis with veterans. And at the time it was 22 veterans a day, and maybe higher now, because the VA is just overwhelmed. They don't have the mental health resources to properly treat and address all the needs of the veteran community. And so in this case, the Compact Act means that out-in-town providers are fully authorized and capable to provide that mental health care for veterans that need it. But it also means that if a screening psychiatrist sees them and says this veteran really does need treatment, it never, ever affects their disability rating, ever. So if you get that treatment and I'm getting 50% for PTSD, it doesn't affect it at all. It is designed to be completely separate. It's right there in the law. And then the other thing is Compact Act says the VA will pay for that veteran's care. So at our clinic, we treat veterans. It's completely free to the veteran, as long as they're screened by one of our psychiatrists. It's about an hour and a half Zoom call, so it's remote, so you don't need to be there. And they're like, no, this individual really does have severe depression that could lead to suicidal ideations and stuff like that. The VA pays for the entire care, and it gets better. We handle all the paperwork. You never need, and it's designed that way. The Compact Act is designed that way. The veteran never needs to deal with the VA. So it's free to the veteran. We handle all the admin stuff. They don't need to walk into the VA to do a screening or anything like that. And it never affects your disability rating. Because if it did, how many people will go out and get that care?
None of them.
Yeah. So it's written that way so that people actually go out and get it.
Yeah, none of them. I mean, well, you talk to a veteran and say, hey, I need you to go fill out this form to go get some mental health treatment. How many do you know that really is going to fill out that form?
Yeah.
Very, very little.
I wonder sometimes if it's got anything to do with disability at all, and just like that overall fear of like, I need help. You're like, you're telling me I need to go reach out to somebody and tell this other, especially like if I know I'm talking to a Marine and I'm like, hey, Marine runs this clinic. Oh yeah. You want me to go tell a Marine that I need help? Nah,
yeah,
and that's on that. I'm good. I'm going to hold on to it.
And I think it's important that both of us down at the clinic, we have done the treatment. And we can talk directly to someone who's interested in it or a little bit skeptical. Like, not only explain how treatment works, but explain how it works.
Yeah.
And when you do that as an advocate, as like, look, I've been there and this is why I'm talking to you about it, because it will make your life better. That is, we've seen people really respond to that. And I'm telling you, 100% completion rate, 100%. Every person that started has finished the treatment without fail. They haven't even been late.
Wow.
Because people are, it's crazy. They feel, because each treatment is only 3 minutes long, so it's super short. And it's passive. You just sit there and chill. And because the treatments are so easy, because it's, cutting edge technology, and it's just, and they see, so many of them see results so quickly. It's like, they're just always, they're not even 5 minutes late. They are showing up early because they want to get it on. And it's really gratifying to be able to get people to a much stronger, higher baseline so quickly.
Now, you guys are just here right now. Is this something that it's out there?
Yeah. So our first clinic is in La Jolla. We're building 2 more clinics here soon over the next few months in Temecula, Oceanside, Carlsbad, and then some more clinics. We're seeing huge. There's a big need out here. There's a big need. We're at the cutting edge of this type of treatment. Because our chief medical officer is one of the top TMS researchers, and TMS is actually what we do, called Transcranial Magnetic Stimulation, but some advanced called Deep TMS, because it uses a much more effective wideband coil with deeper stimulation. So that's why the treatments can be shorter. And it's an accelerated protocol, because old treatments used to be 20, 25 minutes. No one wants that. 3 minutes, you can do standing on your head.
Can I do like 4 or 5 sessions at one time?
We'll just ramp it all the way up and just walk out as your hands going all over the place.
And they come in.
The lights start blinking.
I'll go to the podcast.
Yeah. So actually,
I got the treatment.
It's funny you say that. So our protocol right now is a patient's supposed to get 38 treatments. Mm-hmm. And they get, for the first 6 days, so Monday through Friday, and then the following Monday, they get 5 treatments each day. And it's 3 minutes. You rest 50 minutes, because think of it as a rest time in between each set of, on the flat bench, something like that. And then, so you can do 5 treatments in about 4.5 hours. And our clinic is all the clinics are going to be in areas where there's plenty of food, plenty of areas to walk around, just chill. It's just easy to hang out. Or if you want to do work down there, we've got Wi-Fi and places to work and everything like that. And so the first 30 treatments are done in 6 days, and people usually see significant differences in the first 6 days. And then after that, it's called a taper period, where for the following 4 weeks, you have 2 treatments in 1 day, once a week. So it's like, come in, 3-minute treatment, rest 50 minutes, 3-minute treatment, you're done in an hour. So you can do it on a lunch break.
And this is also getting people off of prescription.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not an advocate. I'm not a big fan of prescriptions. I'm not it's a Band-Aid.
It's exactly what it is.
I see it as a Band-Aid.
Mm-hmm.
Where this is more of a permanent solution.
Yeah.
And again, it's just like a muscle car, right? Mm-hmm. You have to come in to tune it up a little bit. You have to change oil, blah, blah, blah.
Perfect analogy,
You have to come back and...
Well, I'm wondering, what else does this...
more treatments, but they're not going to be as...
No, it's going to be, at best, it would be like a year or a year and a half down the road, like a 1 day of treatment, and then done and dusted.
Now, is this like specifically just for PTSD, or what other things?
So the Compact Act specifically covers depression and PTSD, but Deep TMS can treat OCD, anxiety, anxious depression, ADHD. It can treat sleep disorders. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of research that's going into treating addiction, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. So some of the leading research shows, and I'll get into it in a second, that some of the research is showing that some Alzheimer's patients have experienced a reduction of 2 years of damage of Alzheimer's, and that their brain has gotten younger by 2 years. And so what's happening, the reason it's happening is because that magnetic stimulation, it's rebuilding damaged neural pathways, or detours around neural impairments, so that the brain is now functioning properly, like the highway is getting repaired, right? And so that's what they're seeing. So we're treating someone with TBI right now. We are looking at treating someone who's had 2 brain surgeries. And the idea is that, can we help their brain actually physically heal too? And so it's looking pretty optimistic. We're seeing some good results right now with our patient who's had a severe TBI. And it is, but yeah, they're seeing that it's actually physically helping the brain kind of grow younger in a way.
So if you have like a neurological issue, like instability of like your feet, ankles, could this also be a treatment?
It's possible. It's possible. It certainly will not hurt. So the only side effect that they've seen in any of the trials is a.
I hope he told you about this before you got your treatment.
Yeah.
Nah, he didn't. I still have my hair.
It is.
Oh.
You son of. Okay.
Oh.
That's a messed up ball joke. That's a messed up ball joke. Go ahead.
And then the shock silence.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the shock silence.
Do I see a tear forming?
You do actually.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm crying on the inside. I'm crying. I will retaliate later.
Yeah. But someone got pushed into traffic. But the thing is that the only side effect they have ever come up with is a mild headache towards the start of treatment, which can be treated with Tylenol, and that's usually later in the afternoon after treatments, because your brain is going to the gym for the first time in a while, so it's going to be a little bit sore. But after that, you really almost very few patients experience the second one. It happened to me. I had a mild headache. I'm in the kitchen one day. I'm like, feels like a headache. And then I ignored it and it just went away. It was very, very mild. So because the magnetic stimulation is not very strong. It's never supposed to be uncomfortable. It's never supposed to be painful. And so we sit there while we're doing the treatment. We're standing there the entire time, and we can tell very quickly. We don't even need you as the patient to tell us, like, oh, I don't like this. We can see your hand movement and face movement. We're like, nah, man, it's too strong. We just push stop and we just dial it down, and then to a place where your brain that day is like, oh no, I'm comfortable with this level of stimulation. So it's not some sort of thing where we're just like, well, you didn't tell us to stop. We can tell. It's real easy to read that. And so the thing is so no side effects. If someone's on prescriptions, they can stay on them. It doesn't involve any medicine, but it also doesn't affect the medicine you're on. But it's also designed to get you to a place where you permanently no longer need antidepressants, need SSRIs, and to get you to a place where, the other thing they do notice is when you're doing a treatment, some people with severe depression will experience something called an emotion bubble, which will last up to 4 hours. And usually only happens, if they do experience it, only happens usually about once. And it could be like a 4-hour high or a 4-hour low. Because what's happening is that drain pipe is finally getting unclogged. So a lot of gunk is coming out, and that's where the emotion bubble could happen. And so some patients do experience it. And at that point, you could just reach out to a psychiatrist and talk to them. But also, one of our patients like, I knew what it was because you guys told me about it, and I just wrote it out. And then sure enough, at 4 hours, it was like, feel good. And then that was it. That was the only time I experienced that. Then everything else is copacetic. But so
that's awesome.
Yeah, so we've treated, we've been fortunate enough to treat a lot of patients so far. So we've got a decent sample set to really understand what people could experience going through. And we've really seen it all. But it's designed to be easy, sustainable, something you kind of look forward to doing. And it's kind of like just doing push-ups in the morning. You get out of bed and do your Batman push-ups while your butler lectures you. The thing. We all want to do it. Christian Bale just drops to the ground. And at 49, I'm like, my elbows aren't going to do this. Yeah. But I mean, so it rolls pretty smoothly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what I love about this is so let's say I have a veteran that I want to send over. I don't have to send them to the VA and talk them up about this whole thing. I just send them to your clinic.
Yeah.
And you guys handle everything.
Yeah. And so it is, and we can do all the information virtually, so they don't even need to come in to get started. But it is oftentimes the day after they do their screening with the psychiatrist, we can start treating them.
So here's the question. How haven't I heard about this yet? Is there like a stigma behind it, or what's stopping me from having heard about this prior to?
So it's a multifaceted answer. So I'm going to answer it in a language you don't understand. I'm going to go into Latin now. No, it is, I don't even know how Latin sounds, but
Semper Fidelis.
Oh shit, we did it. Yeah, it is. But it is because TMS has been around since like 2007. So it's the old school treatment, and it worked a little bit. It was about 35% effective. But each treatment will last between 25 to 45 minutes. No one wants to do that shit. And it'd be like for 36 consecutive days. It's a lot. And so people were real excited about that. And traditionally, TMS was sold only to psychiatry practices. And some psychiatrists watching this are going to want to kill me. But what we learned is psychiatrists make about 80% of their profit on
TMS
drugs.
Medical. Yeah, come on. I knew where that was coming from.
Yeah, you don't want to cure your patients because that Range Rover ain't going to pay for itself. And I'm dead serious. And so when
But you think psychiatrists all them get kickbacks from the drug companies?
well, they actually do. That's legal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
So there,
it's 100% legal.
There's that, and then anytime there's like a new drug that comes out, there's drug salesmen who call up and they say, "Hey, we got this new drug. We want you to test it in your clinic," and then that comes with monetary benefits.
Yeah. So you're disincentivized to make your patients healthy. So the TMS devices traditionally have been sold to psychiatry practices, and the hospitals that buy TMS or even Deep TMS, they learn real quickly that it's a money loser having mental health patients in the hospital, whereas an oncology patient could generate $50K a day, whereas a mental health patient, $800 a day. So you try to starve your mental health ward, because if you're a CFO at a hospital, you're fucking losing money.
Yeah.
And so even though they have the devices, they don't do the treatment. Psychiatrists, they got the devices, but don't push it real hard because, like, I mean, we could try this type deal. So TMS, and specifically Deep TMS, which is the one that really works, is slowly getting out there. It's not very well known. Mm-hmm. We've approached and spoken with dozens and dozens of mental health practices throughout Southern California. None of them have heard of Deep TMS. That is how unpublicized it is.
Are they receptive to
100%? Hugely. Like when you tell them about it, especially in their mental health field, they're like, wait, what? You mean I could get my patient to complete remission? It's one of these things like, there's no way, but I want to see it. And then, they send patients through and they're like, well, shit. But it's still cutting edge. The clinic's only been open about 2.5 months. And so it's still getting the word out, but it is.
Well, you came to the right place. I'm like, I mean, shit, we about to do some. I'm going to come over. I'm going to do my virtual visit. But I think one of the things that we enjoy about this podcast and the connection that we're building with the veteran community here in San Diego is this is the place to say, hey, listen, like, we have gone to therapy. Mm-hmm. You mentioned it earlier, and it's so funny because one of the veterans that I was in my bipolar disorder training class thing with, he said, hey man, like I really wanted to say, like, just between me and you, I wanted to share with you how much I appreciate you sharing your story because, you're big, you're charismatic, you're fun, like you're smiling, and like to know that you're going through the same things I'm going through as I'm overweight, as I don't feel like my hygiene's poor, my life is upending, I'm not happy, makes me feel like I should be going to get therapy. I should follow in that lead because if you're doing it, to your point, if you're doing it, why shouldn't I be doing it?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it kind of takes away that excuse. And it is, I mean, it's designed, especially for veterans. This is free for vets. This is free for vets. It's it's designed to get people to a great place to save your job, to help you grow in the professional world, to save your relationship with your kids. Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, this is the type of stuff that realistically, looking back, a lot of the patients we treated, like, I can't believe. I mean, they didn't know about it, but I can't believe I had to wait this long to get to feel, to be involved, to participate in life, to live life. And that's
I mean, sell me on it. I'm going to do it.
I thought you already tried it.
Yeah. But I get it. I got one session.
Yeah.
One session.
You're healed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to do the mega. Yeah.
Are you sure you're not like Joel Osteen or something?
Hey, I healed him. I healed him.
My brothers and sisters, I need a bigger private jet so I can carry the word of PTSD. Bro, around the world.
Churches are getting roasted right now. It's so funny.
Oh, I saw that sketch.
Yeah, the Drewski sketch and like all the videos that are posting out, like, oh, everybody mad about it. I'm like, oh, you guys are mad at Drewski. Let me show you a video. And they're showing him a video. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Bro, so you know Drewski is, right?
No.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, he's a comedian. He's a skit-based comedian.
Is that the guy was floating on stage?
He was floating on stage.
Yeah.
Dude,
they are. I thought it was hilarious because I've seen churches where like they talk. I mean, I've never seen a church where a guy was floating, but like I do watch churches now where it looks. It's anyway. We're gonna get off topic here because we're gonna go there. But the point is that is true, and they do that. But so you went through just for the mind map, or what did he do the first time?
No. I went through. He wanted me to experience. He wanted me to show him what it's like to go through the treatment.
I'm going to go through the treatment. I'm going to sign up
today. So it's one session. In 3 minutes. I mean, literally 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm up. They see me. I'm down. I mean, it's fast.
That's good. I'm up. They see me. I'm down. That's so good.
And then that was it.
Okay.
So
how are you feeling? You healed?
Well, I'm not the Joel Osteen healed.
I mean,
wait. What if we ain't coming today?
Yeah.
But,
oh snap! That's what I'm talking about.
That one preacher, he got his like Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
What do you mean that one preacher?
Oh no, but
there's a lot of
delivered to the church.
Yes, I
in
did.
front of the congregation.
Hey, I'm not even going to go into that.
We're in the wrong line of work.
I mean, no kid. I was just like, really?
No, I'll be honest with you. I'm in the right line of work. I will tell you that's probably one of the things that I hate most on this side of the fence after becoming a civilian is I see these organizations, and the thing I like most about your thing is it's veteran owned, veteran operated.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've learned to hate since getting out is the number of companies and organizations that we love our veterans, we support veterans.
Oh yeah.
But you don't support our initiatives. You don't support our meal halls, our chow halls, our homeless shelters. You don't do anything other than, if you're a veteran, you're trying to sell a house. I love my veterans. It's like, but you don't do anything else for us in any way. You don't give back. You don't do any money. You don't donate. You don't. And the simplest thing I've told people this: the simplest thing you can do is time. That's it. I don't need your money. Nobody's asking you to give up all your money. What I am asking though is if you're going to say on any podcast, on anything that you love your veterans, show up at the meal at the National City or the Barrio Logan freaking meal give outs, the Christmas give outs.
That's not convenient.
And there is the problem is it's not convenient. So yeah,
it's kind of like when people are and I hate to dump on people, but it's kind of like man, I probably shouldn't say this, but you get the people who are like, hey, I support the troops, and you're like, well, you're patriotic now. It's convenient.
Yeah.
How
do you do it?
Yeah, I know, and it is. But that being said, I think most people really do mean it. It's just kind of get into that place.
If you put your money, it's there's actions and there's words. And the problem for me is and if you're saying it like I love my veteran community, I love the veterans, and it's like okay, cool, I hear you, but then you're like, yeah, hey, this treatment that I've got that's going to save you and revolutionize you, get you out of PTSD, get you out of depression. Yeah, you guys come in, you guys pay us $3,000, we'll start your treatment, and then we'll bill the VA for everything else, and it's free for you. Well, hold on, where the hell did my $3,000 go?
Yeah.
Hold on, what do you mean? Where's my $3,000? And the problem is people think that when people say that, like, well, you don't want people out that are supporting veterans to make money. No, I want you to make money. Notice I didn't ask you how much the treatment costs.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck how much treatment costs because the VA is paying it. Bro, charge them $50,000, bro. Make your money. If I'm walking in there, I'm getting my treatment. The treatment's working. I'm getting better. I'm moving forward with life.
Who cares?
Charge the VA all you want.
Yeah.
It's when you don't do that I have a problem.
Yeah, free 90 free.
Yeah. That's what I like about what you guys are doing is not only does it work, but also you're taking it off the veteran's plate and taking care of everything with it, which is super unique because I've led veterans to get help, and a couple of them called me back finally or emailed me back 25 days later. Dude's dead.
Bro, oh my God, bro. I remember that.
Some of them never even got back to me.
I remember that with the VA.
Very few. Well, VA...
Oh no, I remember them. I used to make, and I stopped making the joke. But when I was going through my VA sessions when they first were getting me evaluated and stuff, and they were like, "Yeah, we got a mental health session. Let's say it's January. Hey, yeah, your mental health assessment's going to be in April." All right, cool. I'll take the April appointment. So I show up to April, and you know what they do? Hey, unfortunately, the doctor took a vacation today. I said, "Oh, did he forget about the appointment I had scheduled 4 months in advance?" I get it. When's my next appointment? It'll be in August. And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Well, hopefully I'm not dead by then." Yeah. Whoa, what are you talking about? I'm like,
now they take it seriously.
I'm just joking, but like, I mean,
why am I here? I didn't do this. I'd be like, maybe. I'm doing this because there's a need.
But the need is we see this all the time where veterans are killing themselves now in parking lots at the VA. And I used to make the joke, which I don't make the joke anymore, but like, you know what? Maybe I'll just park because this is taken so unseriously. Maybe I should just park in your parking lot and just, you know what I'm saying? That way y'all know, oh, look, this is the dead guy. We got to sweep off the floor.
It was one of the things that was annoying us for a while is the VA was like, the VA was so messed up that their initial response was, and I swear it was dark humor, but I was like, well, obviously you weren't in suicidal health crisis. You didn't kill yourself. Like it was.
They said that to you?
It was pretty cool. Not to me, but we were working on some claims for some of the vets, and we were like, "Are you fucking kidding me right now?"
Oh, you're better than me.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was one of these things. I mean, they didn't say it, but it was basically like they were not reading. They literally weren't following the law. They literally weren't following the law.
I probably have like one I probably have like one restraining order. There was an agent I was working to deal with. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. There are certain things I can like let slide off the rug, and I wasn't healed at the time, so it's okay. But she made a comment as I
it wasn't my fault.
Yeah, it wasn't my fault. She made a comment when we were making our offer. I'm like, hey, they have like $2,000 on an $800,000 home, and she's like, well, like this is only $2,000 earnings money, it's not enough. I said, well, they've got specific budgets. They're very money cautious. They want to make sure they have their money. Putting $8,000 into that bank over there doesn't give them their money if something happens. Well, I mean, I just don't think my client's going to go for this. This doesn't look like they have any skin in the game. And I was like, okay, I'm trying to take that cautiously. Like, you do realize this is a veteran, right? Well, yeah, I get that. Okay. And I'm sorry, not even a veteran. This is an active duty service member currently serving with his family, trying to get a place. And your commentary is because they're not giving you 8,000, only giving you 2, they don't like they have skin in the game. Let me explain how the VA home loan works real quick and how you really get that benefit. You don't get it just from saying, I want to be a military service member. You get it from like the skin in the game is the blood, the sweat, all the other bullshit. The skin in the game, and that's just his skin in the game.
Yeah.
Her skin in the game is like you mentioned earlier, especially and we do need to get a veteran spouse on here. I was talking to a girl about that, so we need to do that next. Like the degree to which the veteran spouses also suffer through the things that we're going through with our lack of ability to be there, with alcoholisms, with the inability to show up or partying or just focusing on our health, like that impacts them just as much as it does us.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you just laid the bear of responsibility on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. We actually just shifted responsibility on them and said, I don't want to be responsible for this. And that's not fair to them.
Oh, I did tell a buddy of mine. Yep. I did tell a buddy. He was like, "Well, I don't think she understands what I go through." And I was like, "Oh, listen, you're my boy, so I'm gonna really be nice when I say this. Shh, don't say that anymore. Stop saying that. Yeah, it doesn't end well for you. That's not a good argument.
Yeah, no more words. No more words.
Yes, no, just stop talking. Say yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
just say yes, ma'am.
So where would people find you at?
Yeah.
As I'm drinking my water. It is, our website is neurobello.com, and that's neurabello.com. And I can also share my information. Maybe we could, pin it to the podcast and everything like that. Yeah. And, people are absolutely encouraged to give me a call. People are going to have questions, let's be honest. But it is... What we do is when someone contacts us, we text them a very quick intake form. It takes a minute to do. And that sets up a quick 15-minute phone call with one of the people with our health partner that calls them and walks them through the process and helps them understand how the treatment will work. They can ask any more real in-depth questions at that point. And that 15-minute phone call, where I just call them directly, they then set up the Zoom call with the psychiatrist. They work together like, what's a good time? They set up the Zoom call with the psychiatrist. It's a 60 to 90 minute call. And one of the things I really noticed is actually patients really enjoy talking to our psychiatrists, which you would think would be like kind of a hard thing. And one of them, he was like, yeah, man, it was tough, but I really enjoyed it. I'm like, great. I mean, it was, so that's nice to hear. It really is that they really feel comfortable sharing with them. And then our psychiatrist will write up a prescription and diagnosis, and we will then reach out to you and like, hey man, this is for a lot of our patients, we'll try to bring them in the next day, if possible. We try to bring them in the next day. And then, and because let's be honest, there's fucking urgency. When people are reaching out, we want to, our goal, and that's why we're building more clinics, because we are quickly running tight on our capacity of our La Jolla clinic, which is good because it means that people are really getting out there and getting the help that they really want, they deserve, and the word is getting out if this stuff really works. But we want to be able to treat people as quickly as fucking possible, and just we can. Yeah, so right now we're getting about 3 new veterans a week, which is fantastic.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. But when you reach in capacity, that means you're not going to be able to help more vets.
No.
Now, and the more clinics, the better. What's the biggest myth behind the treatment?
Oh, shoot. Outside of being able to predict the future after you're done, I would say that people, it's not so much.
What are they most afraid of?
I think that the biggest skepticism is this isn't going to work. Yeah. Right? I mean, let's be honest.
I've tried everything. I've tried all the guru stuff. Jolla put his hands on me. I thought I was healed, and then I went right back to the bad habits.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times that's the benefit to what you said earlier is this isn't supposed to be like a cure. Like you just come in, you're going to be cured. You did say it earlier. Like, hey, continue to see your therapist. Continue to talk to people. This is not like, mental health. I think is the problem. Is people think, well, if I want to get strong, I go to the gym. I do my bench press. I get strong. I'm strong. What they don't realize is if I don't go to the gym, I also atrophy.
Yeah.
And the brain is in fact a muscle. And if you don't continue to work it, you don't continue to talk through issues, you don't continue to get help and don't get seen and don't communicate, we will revert back to because to your point earlier, you mentioned coping mechanisms. Let me switch that word. There's also maladaptive coping mechanisms. I'm angry, so I drink. That's a maladaptive. I'm angry, so I sit and think. That's a coping mechanism. You know what? When I get angry, I just sit in it and I think, is this important? Coping mechanism.
Yeah.
If I'm drinking, chugging, taking shots of smoking some weed in a parking lot in the mall, that's a maladaptive or potentially a maladaptive coping mechanism, and that could lead to slipbacks and fallbacks. So continue to be seen, continue to reach out. That's a great way to do it.
No, it is. And that's where with our patients, what we want to do is provide them also great therapy options if they already don't have one. We don't do therapy so that we keep it very, very clean. We just focus on Deep TMS so that we can partner with therapy practices and act as great referral partners for them. But it's continuum of care to make sure that you just don't, so you're going for open heart surgery. And then, well, I don't have a diet plan, so you go back to eating like crap, and we're going to see you in a bit. But if we give you a diet plan and everything, then people are like, all right, I can follow this, and now you're going to be successful. We may never see you again. I mean, there's going to be a lot of patients like, I'm in a good place, and now that I'm doing therapy, I'm set. But it is also, we treat non-military. We've got all the various insurances. Some people, for instance, pilots they can't be, if the FAA finds out that pilot's going in for depression treatment, what do? They take their license.
Yeah.
And you may get it back if you're lucky. Same thing with first responders. So we end up treating pilots and first responders as private pay. So that way it's not covered, skyline by insurance and stuff like that. The good news is that not only do we have payment options, but because we only do Deep TMS, we keep our costs very low. So we're the most affordable Deep TMS, maybe even TMS period treatment in all of San Diego. We're proud of that. Yeah. If people need to go that way too.
Well, now, and I mentioned it earlier, I touched on a veteran spouse, and I definitely don't want to run. I know Dustin's like, Terrence, you're doing that thing. We start getting that. But I really do. I think what I enjoyed about this so far is the openness and the availability of something like this that you guys are trying to build. So what I'm seeing, especially as we do things with the VBA and all those things, is like the community outreach is going to be huge. So we're going to help you grow.
Yeah.
Are there like are spouses? I know because spouses aren't covered by the VA unless you're 100%.
So they would be covered. So great question. They would be covered. So if they're military spouses, they'd be covered under TRICARE. Otherwise, if they're veteran spouses, they'd be covered under insurance. Okay. Now, the tricky thing is insurance and TRICARE only pay out if you've been diagnosed with treatment-resistant depression, meaning you have depression, you've been on 2 separate SSRIs, and neither of them have worked. So you get to a situation where both parents with adolescents, they don't want to put their adolescents on SSRIs or anything.
I'm glad you took it there because that was my next question. Is so spouses and my kids. If I have a kid who you mentioned car accidents earlier, so I'm going to stick there. If I've got a kid who was in a traumatic car accident, and I am seeing the signs as someone who suffered from PTSD, I am seeing the signs of PTSD. What's the youngest age I could bring a child in? 10. Okay.
10. Now,
all the answers are
so the thing is with TRD is that a lot of patients don't want to have to go the SSRI route. For instance, you have pregnant mothers, nursing mothers, people undergoing chemotherapy, or just kids, because SSRIs, the science is starting to show that putting your kids on SSRIs will literally, I'm going to curse right now, will fuck them up and make them suicidal. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so they're showing that actually putting your child on antidepressants will worse. It's like pouring gasoline on the fire. So it is. So a lot of people are trying to resist or avoid that. And so that's, since they don't technically have TRD, insurance is going to be like, oh, fuck you, we're not going to cover this. That's where the self-pay option comes in. So the good news is that we have made it. It's like going into a dental office when you need to get fancy work done on your teeth, and they offer you payment options. So we have ways to make it actually pretty darn affordable for life-changing care. I shit you not, to save your kid's life, to save your spouse's life, to save your own. Yeah. And so it is sometimes that you're going to be in that situation where insurance is like, oh, cool story, bro. And that's why we just want to make it as accessible as possible for as many people as possible. Yeah.
What are you thinking? You think it's something? What about like neurological disorders? That's something that I know. I'll do some research as well. But like neurological disorders, I've got a friend of mine suffers from this very specific nerve thing that's going on. Does that do anything with that? Or
it could be. It's quite possible. And so when we have those really unique situations, we take all the information and then we give that to our chief medical officer. Mm-hmm. And he is, and I hit on this before, one of the top TMS researchers in the country. So he actually will very quickly be able, because this body of knowledge going back decades, and very, very quickly be able to follow up with, yeah, we absolutely can. We just need to modify the treatment protocol, or in this case, unfortunately, not. And we have, and I'm cautiously optimistic, we have not received a no yet for any of these unique situations. Even the complicated ones, he's been like, we can totally treat. We'll have to tweak it a little bit, but yeah, I'm pretty optimistic this is going to help out. So it's quite possible. So it really is.
This goes also beyond veterans. So like if you're, high level CEO, athlete.
Yes.
If you're facing running a business.
Yes.
The burnout phase is real.
Yeah.
You only got so much. Your cup can only be filled so much.
Yeah.
This could also help burnout.
100%.
This also can help those high.
Yeah. It's going to get them, no matter what. Every single patient we've treated has said the same thing. Their sleep has improved dramatically. Every single patient. And every single patient has also said their serenity has really gone up. So it's going to help you deal with stress. It's going to help you deal with the burnout, because what's happening is your brain basically is getting refreshed, and you're going to feel that focus is going to be back, that cognition, your ability to recall facts and figures is going to be back. And so if you're getting older, all of a sudden your brain, in a way, it almost feels like it's de-aging. I can speak directly to that. After I finished the treatment, I felt sharper. I definitely felt sharper. And shoot, I'm almost 49. I mean, that says something. And so you get these people, high performers. And the other thing is our clinic, especially our La Jolla clinic, is designed to be small on purpose. So if you do have patients like, look, I need discretion because I am a CEO. I don't want my employees to know I'm going in for treatment. We can close the clinic down, just treat them exclusively. So maintain their privacy and stuff like that. And you've seen the clinic; it's a really comfortable place. Yeah, really nice environment.
Yeah, I mean it's not a big clinic, small. Mm-hmm. Man, I mean you guys really walked in there. I was like, oh shoot, okay,
yeah. It's designed to, when you get people, especially with high acuity, designed to put them at ease quickly, to make them feel that we're really paying attention to you, because we are, and we're going to walk you through every step of this thing. So as you first get started, because by treatment 3, you're like, man, let's do this. But the first couple of treatments, I don't know, because there's that skepticism. But once you really start to settle in, like, no, I got this. I had one patient, he'd start putting all this stuff on himself each day. I'm like, bro, slow down. They're like, no, let's do this. I'm like, all right, well, actually, it's pretty damn good.
Give me 6 minutes this time. I'm ready for 6 now.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close. Yeah. We had a couple of patients like, dial it up. Like, we're not supposed to dial it up.
This isn't a 10 juice. Yeah. You're not in physical therapy.
Listen, I want the 6-pack abs. I want it fast. Slap me on level 10.
I've seen the Bruce Lee ads.
This hurts. But no, I think what you guys are doing is amazing. I think, I'm super excited that we did. Who brought him? Did he bring him on? Who brought him?
What?
So we met at
he just walked in the door.
Yeah, it is. It came in screaming Deep TMS, hallelujah.
Yeah, I thought
it totally wasn't weird.
I was like, you got some? He's like, oh yeah. He's like, they have to go to my clinic.
Yeah.
No, I'm like,
no. So
they were just Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
These are all lies, delicious lies.
I know. I'm like so confused right now. Wait, did you know him? No. So the big thing is
we met at VECA.
Okay.
Yeah, Coffee Connect. Yeah, it's Santee.
Mm-hmm. So we started talking, and then I'll invite friends.
Wow.
Well,
he wants to make it look like he's single.
Yeah.
So that way he can't bring you along.
I can't have competition.
Yeah.
So we met, and no shit, it was the time that you text me like, hey dude, we need to talk about PTSD.
I'm telling you, serendipity is the craziest thing for me right now. Everything is moving.
He's our next guy.
Yeah. So we need to get we need to get June is the guy I want to bring on, and maybe getting JB back on as well, because right now I think the big thing that's moving on as we talk to people about you, as we talk to people like you about the stuff that you're going through, I think the other big thing is making sure that people understand that if you're not taking advantage of these free systems, it'd be one thing if you were telling, hey Terrence, I'm going to take care of you, $10,000. Yeah, that's different. But people need to understand that the treatments that are out there don't cost a lot of money. There can be a degree of discretion. These things, and then if you're not getting these things, then I'm dead serious. I want to use and leverage this platform to show you the opposite side. You need to understand that when you if you don't get the treatment that's given to you and it's for free, you're going to be on the other side of that spectrum. And I hope to God it never happens. But if it does happen, I want you to see the people and how the people we leave behind, how they're seeing and reflecting, like what they see from us and what we leave them with. Because it's not, oh, well, because you said it earlier, you said at some point everybody thinks like the world would be better off without me. And it's easy to think that when you're focused on yourself. The truth is, let me show you what it really looks like when you take yourself, when you're a young veteran, 23 years old, and you take your life. Let me show you what you're really leaving. Let me show the other veterans who are 23 years old who are considering the same thing. Let me show you guys what you leave behind.
It's like, it's a wonderful life.
Yep. It is not, it sounds all good. You're gone. It's all pretty until you realize you left friends, you left family who have gaping holes in their heart.
Shattered.
And they're going, well, what the hell? Like, what could I have done? You know, like I could have done more. I could have done less. Did I not call enough? Did I not text enough? And I had the young lady, and we're going to end out I'm going to start going down the rabbit hole. Yeah. When we were talking, she said, hey, like, I just feel really bad. I didn't even see anything. And I was like, can I help you out real quick? If he's been going through this for a while, you were never supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is when I go through my stuff, and I just confessed to her, it's something, I'll confess it now because it's so stupid. There was maybe a month or two ago, I forgot to pay my cell phone bill. And we'd already made plans to go out to dinner, but I forgot to pay my cell phone bill. So the day that I forgot to pay it, my phone got cut off. I paid the bill, and my phone wasn't turned back on by the time we were supposed to meet. And I'm like, well, shit, okay, well, I'm already said I was going to go. So at the house, I have Wi-Fi. I Wi-Fi'd myself an Uber. I go to the house. Now we're at dinner. So she goes, hey, and it's raining outside. Hey, okay, cool. Well, hey, you didn't drive? I was like, no, I took the Uber. You know, the car's, I had a motorcycle accident. She goes, okay, well, you can drive you home? I'm like, no, you know, I got me, Marine, I got this. I didn't fucking have it. She dropped me off at the gas station until I was going to get an energy drink. No, I was hoping that the gas station had fucking Wi-Fi or a phone I could use so I can call the fucking Uber. Right? Well, the gas station doesn't have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, weird.
So I walked my stupid ass down the road in the rain to go sit next to, and I ended up finding Wi-Fi. I was like, oh, there's a Starbucks down the road. I'll go to Starbucks. I'm walking in the rain to go stand at a little kids' health hospital thing, and I just happened to catch Wi-Fi. So I stood in the rain next to this shop as I waited for the Wi-Fi so I could order Uber. That's how embarrassed I was to just tell this woman that doesn't mean anything. That I need help. I need help.
Yeah.
So let me show you what it looks like. Let's put people on so you can see what it looks like when you don't get the help that you need and the people you leave behind. That's what I want to show them.
Well, we got to stop. People didn't know about this program.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to make sure that happens.
100%.
We got some good things.
Get them activated in it to get them the help. And then not only that, but you're a great steward for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because not only have you gone through the treatment, but you're also Marine. And when service members talk to each other, there's that like measurability, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like Navy, like Marines, okay. No. Army, okay.
Mm-hmm.
We got to talk about your raising your bars. Earlier you went, oh yeah, I was on an IQ test and it was Nikola Tesla and then it was Elon Musk and then it was Trump and I'm like, what the fuck kind of scale are you looking at? And now you're like, Navy's down here and then Marines. No, we're on the fucking top. We're the top.
You're Department of the Navy.
That doesn't mean
always
shit.
On the bottom, okay?
No one thinks that. But go ahead.
So anyway, but when you have somebody stewarding that is a Marine, not only a Marine but an officer because you're regarded in a different light.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh shit! I think that brings down that guard and say like, okay, this is gonna work. This is
and I also want to give a shout out to my partner in the clinic, Stephanie. She's a retired Navy officer, prior enlisted. She is her story is absolutely incredible, and she's going to hate that I'm saying this, but she's in the Smithsonian.
What?
She's in the fucking Smithsonian.
She's in the Smithsonian. What's she doing? What's she doing?
She's going to. You'll have to ask her yourself.
We can get on podcast.
She's going to hate
Stephanie,
that I'm sharing. She's going to hate that I'm sharing the story, but it is, and so she's got, an incredibly valuable story on her own and her journey and everything she went through too, and absolutely pivotal for building this and getting us to where we're at right now, where we can treat and affect positively so many people. But it is, and so and don't get me wrong, I love being a Marine, but she makes good points about the smart people join the Navy, and I'm like, well, SMRT, SMRT, is not a hard word to spell, and then I walk off and start crying. But yeah, it is. We want you guys to come down to the clinic, and we can't wait to really help get the word out to everybody.
Oh, we're going to change. Yeah, we got some big things coming up with a lot of the events that we've been hosting. The VBA is about to do a bunch of crazy things, and then if you guys are open to it, we're going to get you guys some seminars as well. Yeah, I think having a room full of veterans, and the beauty is through this podcast and through everything we're doing, bringing veterans to the front and saying, hey, this is not just some run-of-the-mill Joe Blow who says, hey, I've got this military program. It's going to be great for you. It's, hey, I'm a Marine Corps officer. I'm a Navy officer. Here you go. We're talking about the thing. This is the thing. It's not coming from some civilian. The Marine that helps veterans get their VA benefits, also a Marine, me, and then you got a coffee guy.
Yeah.
The Navy guy.
Yeah. Thank God for coffee.
Thank God for coffee.
We've all seen Airplane.
Coffee gets us promoted. Coffee gets us promoted.
Oh, shit.
Awesome.
Yeah, there you go. That's your motto. Coffee gets us promoted.
I like it. I like the tagline. Anything else in closing remarks you want to
all I can say is, just don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're here to help. I mean, so both of us, we left successful, safe careers to help start this clinic and to start all of this and we really want to. We would happily take this risk again because it's 100% fucking worth it. Really helping out as many people as possible. So yeah, we want to see you.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. So let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh, send us off. Send us home.
It takes veterans to know what veterans really need, especially in the healthcare field. And Ben Roan, they are stepping up and they're taking care of the veterans and they're doing it right. So don't hesitate. Go to their website. Let's get that form filled out. And let's get you guys treatment, your girls and your gals treatment.
Yeah.
Until next time, make sure you like, subscribe, and please leave us comments, whether you like it, don't like it, love it, but definitely tell us your experience, and we can get you connected with Ben and get the treatment you need. 7 minutes, pause.
Okay.
That's it.
That's not too hard. No, that was good. That was great. No, you close it out. Close it out.
Oh, man.
That's the end.